Hello, we are back. Well, I am. You're
here. I'm talking to Monique here in a second. I'll join you in a moment. Priorities, dude.
Well, we as a collective, X-Wing fans, we are back. This is the final round. We got Ernesto versus Ron. So we got the two Skirgs versus Ghost Fen. Definitely gonna be a good game. I really think this one's gonna be interesting to watch, because as someone pointed out earlier, the Ghost can just boost into that range 1 and deny a lot of those accuracy corrector TLT shots, and without a lot of offensive mods, even with the 4 dice at range 1 from those Skirgs, you know, you're relying on a lot of variance to do damage into anything with that. So who knows? Who else is gonna go?
Yeah, you were born to do this, right? She put her in the hospital.
So let me know in the chat who you think is gonna win, who has the advantage, who would you like to win. Both are very good players.
So even in those kind of environments where, yeah, I'm a ninja.
So anything in the chat you think?
You
2? Okay, so how about this? Ernesto is 1 and Ron is 2, and then let me know. I know, I'm like stealing all that stuff from Gold Squadron.
Right. Which, what you'll find is like a lot of our therapists need to get their foot in the door.
Ernesto will be nice at least, yeah.
As the youth counselor. And it helps to be in the environment to see what's going on.
By the way, I'm loving those gunboat emojis.
Hired in as a therapist. 2 months or something, because they know
I have a fondness for gunboats. For anyone who knows me or has seen me play, those are my boys.
But it's very, very common for us. Yeah, but again, it's like every state's different.
Alright, so checking the Breeze Gambit, we got the 1 evade.
Just not finding out you guys don't.
So he's probably going to do the same setup that he did last time against Mitch, Ernesto is, and do that row of cluster mines. But I don't know where he's going to set it up. The thing about that Ernesto has to watch out for is that Ghost can boost into you know, any range he wants, really, pretty quickly. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know what Gordon's mumbling about. But I guess I'll have to move my microphone. I guess
okay, are they up and running?
Oh yeah.
Do you need me to save you?
No, you're good.
Lies.
Do I sound like I need saving?
Yes, you do. Here, let's bring a professional podcaster in.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who got 4, 2?
Oh God, I didn't say good X-Wing player. I said egotistical personality who thinks he's interesting to be listened to and is fully delusional. How's that?
So yeah.
All right.
So the best Gordon.
The best Gordon, yes. Hi Tommy. There's Tommy. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
more gunboats, people.
All right, so here's the theory.
Huh.
Ron has no reason to come out, and I believe I was told that there's a good chance Ron's not coming out. He's gonna castle.
All right. Well.
And while we see the Skirgs have moved out here, I don't see any movement out of Ghost Fen or anything, right? So let's see it's happening. Let's see if it's gonna happen or not.
Well,
now this is the first round, right?
Yep.
They've already done dials,
yep.
And I don't see any movement out of the Ghost and the Fen.
Nope, nothing.
So, how does a bomb-dropping unit deal with the fortressing list here?
Well, why would he want a fortress, though, you think?
Because he can't keep pace with the damage necessarily, and he's got a higher final salvo. Oh, dude! Okay, I want to just say thank you to Ryan Farmer for bringing me my fillet of fish. Thank you. All right.
And now we get to all hear Gordon eat fillet of fish.
I am not eating on a mic. There's nothing worse than listening to someone eat or drink on a mic. Oh, it's so gross.
Let's see. So yeah, you're right, because the 2 extra dice that would account for the final salvo. So you're right.
He has no reason to let Ernesto do what he wants to do. Ernesto may still end up doing the same thing where he's going to bring, if you won't come to the wall, I'll bring the wall to you.
Yeah.
So
it'd be interesting if he boxes him in the corner.
Right. And does Ron care?
Yeah.
In other words, as long as he's never forced in a position to have to go through the walls. So
get that right, I think, right?
Should be interesting.
Yep, censor January, so just double check and make sure that
right. And then the accuracy corrector, remember we were talking about, we didn't think the accuracy corrector, we were having a discussion earlier about who can out damage who and this sort of thing, but there's only accuracy corrector on one of the ships, right?
No, they both have accuracy.
I thought there was only one. Take a look at the other name.
Says your hull upgrade. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just the one. Tells you how much I pay attention to things.
I think that's my fault. You've been around me a little too long. The incompetence kind of rubs off. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Hey,
all right.
Hull upgrade.
So let's see. I mean, maybe he's going to just go ahead and do these hard turns to the left here, and see if he can drop the mines on him. So.
That'll be interesting. But I don't know if he wants to get in too close because he got that 4 dice, 5 dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and he doesn't care about mods. Who needs mods when you have Maul and Ezra, right?
He's also got Nim leading, so he's going to need Sixa to kind of get the lead there. Button hook those cluster mines out to his right side, and then Nim needs to trail behind it.
Well, I'm thinking that...
And there's no debris gammon in play here, right?
No.
Yeah, so that was a huge thing. Can't choose that as an action.
Well, I'm thinking if he's able to kill Fenn, Ernesto, and then he can just duck out with the 2 Skirgs, then you have a pretty fair-ish final salvo.
Fairish, yes.
And just kind of see how everything goes with that. If he doesn't want to come out, because then Ronald will be forced to engage.
Right. Okay, how much time's left? This only just got started. I know we don't have the clock ticking and running, but it's a 2-hour match, and we've only been in it for what, 10 minutes at most?
Yeah. So
what's up, D?
Have you discussed at all about how broken this game is and how we could really use 2.0 FFG?
Okay, see, this is an opportunity. It's almost.
I don't want to test that.
Hang on a second. This is the only opportunity I'm going to get to do this, and I do apologize, stream, because you want to hear a commentary about the match. But since I'm never invited onto the Minoc podcast, I will go ahead and talk to them about it right now.
Yo, D handles the guests.
Maybe your podcast is all about how horrible it is, but I like to embrace what's called positive thinking and the power of it. D, you?
Tell me about the positive aspects of this style of X-Wing where fortressing is the correct option.
They can also hear you through the window.
that you introduced with this horrible, awful list.
Fair, but all right, okay. So
you're blowing up. Okay, the chat saying you're blowing up my mic. So.
Oh, am I? That's my bad. That's my bad.
Oh no, I was yelling.
I was yelling closer to the mic.
Also,
the host.
I mean, these are 2 brilliant squads, right?
Yes.
Like, FFG gave the players these tools. It's at their disposal. It's a competitive environment. You're trying to win, and if that's the goal, why wouldn't you exploit the best available content?
All right. Here's my response.
Mm-hmm.
There are more of us who, when it comes right down to it, want to play what we want to play, and that ends up being more important than bringing something that's the most broken list. Let us say, hypothetically, you are right,
like we're getting
that this list, this Lothal wrist, is broken beyond belief, and that percentage-wise,
I want to give credit to Ernesto's squad as well.
No, I'm not taking away from Ernesto. He's only proven my point. But if it were true, if we could somehow measure that this Lothal list, this version of it, is by far the best there is, why is it then that people still aren't always bringing it?
I think it takes a lot of skill.
You're either bringing a counter, in which case you then run into a problem when you don't face the counter, or it's what I'm suggesting, what I'm positing, which is people still want to play what they want to play. They're just trying to find the best version of that. I still think that mindset, that philosophy trumps what you just said.
I think for Ron to get to the final tables means that even though the Ghost Fen list does have a lot of things going for it as far as removing a lot of the decision making and a lot of the variance away that from most lists have, for him to make it this far and to go against the variety of lists that he did get to face during that tournament, which was very varied. There was lists all different kinds of lists were there. Means it shows the skill of the player, plus shows that in order for you to do this well with a Ghost Fen list, from everyone trying to like pretty much tech against you, it's you still have to know how to fly.
Yeah, I am not taking anything away from Ron at all.
Ron's one of ours. We love him to death, and he's a skill player from going back years. He's had top finishes in all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I do want to point out there were matches where he forgot, or he just plumb forgot to use Sensor Jammer. Forgot triggers, and it didn't matter.
True.
Like, what does that say?
That's Steven, right?
Hey, love you, Steve.
It's true. I mean, I fly gunboats, so.
Right. Steven, you gave me a great hug at Worlds. Thank you for that. And two, I am not saying you flew something for the reasons T just said. Right. You've been on that list he's been on Ghost for a while, right? For him, that's the game?
No, he jumped on it right before System Open.
Right.
It's the first guy to put together Ezra crew, with Maul crew, with engine, and I shoved Fen into his hand, said you have to do this.
Right, in other words, if he's come up with something that's different than everyone else before everyone else, then he is not in the mindset of, oh, look, you just brought cancer. No, I brought something no one else has brought before, and it's working and I'm having fun. He's fine. The issue where he's going to catch grief on now is maybe revisionist history, which is, oh, you brought cancer. It wasn't when I first got it on the table.
No, so
it was,
we're getting some shots right now.
Oppressive. It is an NPE to face it.
Sure. But don't you think there's like now more of the mindset that it's cancer post results as opposed to pre?
It's funny. Like Farmer and
looks like a hit and a focus.
Let's get the commentary.
There's a right. That's jeez, Steve. Great. Isn't that Steve?
Non-rom-com?
Yeah. Oh God. What? Travis. Duh. Drawing a blank. Hi, Travis. All right. This is what we will discuss on our subsequent podcast later.
No, this is a great conversation.
Well, no, aren't you supposed to be having professional commentary about the match in question? Because here's the interesting thing. What would you do if you're Ernesto?
I mean, he had to come in and
you're going to turn in and you're going to start. You're going to bring the wall to the castle.
Let's talk about even the situation where castling to force a to engineer a situation headed for final salvo is the correct decision. Should that be an aspect of the game?
No, I mean, to me, it's the same side of a. Analogies are failing me here. I think it falls in line with the same mindset of maybe intentionally bringing the best broken list. It's like if you're willing to take that kind of step because winning's that important to you, then it's not that far removed then to also castle.
Is that illegitimate?
No. I don't think it's not fun. I think it falls in line with Travis's viewpoint here. Is that fun? But the thing is I can't legislate fun to you. I can't make you have fun in a game by making a rule set that forces you to have fun as the result.
Well, we can't. FFG could.
What? Like just simply take away castling? You must always move forward or something?
But like any kind of game.
Well, they're rewarding it.
If you make any kind of changes like that to the game, it could have unforeseen effects on other stuff. Like I think that's the reason why Ghost Fen is so good is because they release all these cards, and then look at that, like you just put on. Well,
okay. All I'm getting at is the match isn't over yet, and Ernesto's willing to go to him,
well,
and it may not.
Has to.
I know, but it may not matter.
But that sets up.
Are you drawing the conclusion that the Ghost and Fen is going to win here?
Well, okay. Hey Travis, let's talk about agency. So the Ghost, without doing anything, just by placing in the corner and not moving, has taken away Ernesto's agency entirely, forcing him into a suboptimal strategy. Now, Ernesto could still win, but is that a game that's interesting to you, like fun to you? Like, is that the way this game should be designed to be played at the competitive level?
And then I
So
would
it
come
looks
back
like,
with how many times has, with the exception I think of Chris recently with, say, was it the Wookiees? How many times have we seen it was the castling player that won? And if that's the case, we have so many tons of castling options. Why aren't we seeing that as the overwhelming strategy and approach?
Well, this is a very specific matchup against one list that, I mean, I'm not going to say Ernesto castles because he's moving, so
Right.
he's technically not castling.
Looks like Fenn has 2.
I don't think there's anything wrong with castling to the point that you force the other player into try to do something differently. I think your point is incredibly well served if that's all they did the entire game, right? To the point of either we now we can fast forward to 2 hours from now and final salvo, or my fortress is so amazing I literally don't have to leave the corner and I can still throw dice at you.
Guys.
You know, actually,
That would suck.
the players themselves have discussed that they're good friends. They play with each other.
Right. They play each other once a week. These two.
Previously, I think there was a match where Ernesto had to deal with
I can't
an older
really
version
see. I
of
think I
Ego.
see 1 or 2 shields on Soul 6.
Okay.
And Ernesto was thinking, you know, maybe I should have just taken the low odds and just salvoed anyway. We're talking like odds like in the 30s.
So the chat is saying that they muted the audio because there's nothing to do with the game in progress.
Oh, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Are you actually? Doesn't it have everything to do with the game?
I don't know.
I think it has everything to do with the game.
Oh, well, I'll just shut up then.
No.
No, you
No,
can
like,
talk. You talk.
What's actually happening in the match is more important than our philosophical debate about what the game ought to be.
Don't you think the match is a perfect symbol of these? Of what you're bringing up right now? You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because, okay, yeah, castling the corner and they bring out the ghost.
This is not how. Well, I'm very curious if Ernesto even minds. But based on what we've seen him do before, this is not how he's played all of his games before.
No, typically he's the one stealing agency
Right.
by walling himself off and forcing the opponent to come
So
to
they
him.
deserve each other.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely correct.
Yes.
Is that positive? Is that a healthy game?
I mean,
I can't help but find it fascinating. It's like, who is going to dictate their will upon the other player based on the strategy they want to employ? I think that's the
Well,
game.
no, we're in agreement
Well, how about
because
this?
in
How
terms
about
of the competitive environment, that's the result.
Mhm.
But that's not what I'm discussing.
What
I'm
are
not
you
putting
discussing?
blame on the players. I wanted to make it very clear that they made wonderful choices. I'm unhappy that we have a game where those are wonderful choices, resulting in this sort of match at a final table at a formal event.
true, but I mean, I don't know.
I disagree with you on that.
I think that for each one bringing their list, they're having fun flying their list. And I know that this is not the kind of list that everyone likes to fly, but I think it depends on like what your definition of fun
Right,
is.
thank you. You just made my point. I used to be a professional video game reviewer. And the one thing I was told by my editors, no matter what, is like, for the love of God, you cannot say, why do you like this game? Because it's fun. Because that's insanely subjective. You have to explain
True.
the why of it, and don't use that.
And
However-
and there's an ebb and flow to this game too.
Objectively, I will state that this is clearly not fun to many people.
But okay,
I don't
so
know
okay,
about that.
well, I'll bring up a point. I can't tell you how many times people have said harpoons are broken and gunboats are stupid and stuff like that. But if you're letting me shoot 3 harpoons at you, you did something wrong earlier. I mean, you should be
Says
maybe
the
getting shot by one.
QD3 gunboat player.
Yeah.
Right. That's your list.
No,
right?
I do the 2 rows, the new and the sign on.
Okay.
But if I'm getting all
That's
my
a cool
shots,
squad. I like the,
if I'm
combined arms
getting
there.
all my shots at you, then that's not supposed to happen. So I think that a lot of people, there's always a thing about like the loud minority. I think like for some reason when I roll my dice and I know
I know I'm loud.
because everyone's like, oh man, your dice are so hot, or I don't know why I didn't get that. Like, well, yeah, you had no mods, you just rolled naked green dice, like of course, like.
Well, I mean, aren't you isn't that... Aren't these conflictory statements? Like, I'm not going to say Harpoon's broken or anything, because honestly, I don't understand the baseline power level of the game anymore anyway.
Right.
But the fact that you can launch and then you have, like, the rerolls and potentially guidance chips, like, that's a great, great upgrade.
But don't be in the Arc. I got PS4 and PS2 ships. Like, it takes me so long to set up a shot. I had one of the most amazing games by one of the guys who plays around here. I'm pretty sure Michael Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we're at a tournament, I inevitably get paired up against him. And every time it's probably one of the best games I ever play of X-Wing. And I'm sweating every time. And
We had
it takes
a
me
monster
so
match at
long.
System Open.
It takes
Real
me so
tight.
long to set up those like perfect engagements, and like everything is just like down to the wire.
Do we use me as an example? I brought Nimoranda, right? Double harpoon, extra munition carriers.
Great squad.
In my 3-0 matches, it went according to what Steve here is saying, which is
Thanks,
you
chat, for
let
the
me
update.
light
Sorry, I know
you
we're
up.
talking a lot.
You let me light you up with harpoons. In my losses, they did a really, really great job of not letting me get the harpoons off, and so I had to really fly them in such a way as to where not get donut hold so I can do TLT work, or try to fly in such a way as to where I can let the bombs do work. But because I'm not necessarily experienced or good at that, ultimately that ended up being why I lost the matches. I won the matches because I got off the harpoons and it was easy mode at that point. So at what point does it become the responsibility of the player and their skill to counter power creep?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase the question?
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that too.
What happened in those matches that I lost, where if I brought such broken things like harpoons, that I still managed to lose?
Well, there's all sorts of...
So then his point comes into play, which is like, well, then don't be in the Arc. I mean, at what point do you give credit to the other player to offset?
I think the schism we're having in this conversation is that you're all discussing the competitive game, and at that point, I agree. I mean,
Right.
It's, our mottos fly better.
Then we want to see Travis's question. I think Travis asked that question. When you bring the chat back up, I'll show it to you, if it hasn't scrolled off.
I think I see 4 shields on the Ghost. And
God forbid we actually update the game.
I know, right? And I think I see 2 shields on Sol Sixa. So we'll just go with that. And we can probably get an update here or make sure everything's up to date here for you guys.
Okay, I think it's scrolled off. If Travis is still with us, he can ask the question again. It's like, because I think he was making that point, was like, it's one thing for competitive X-Wing, but is that good for casual X-Wing?
Oh, and
it's horrible, right? Because when you mix the competitive player with the casual player,
really rough.
Then it's bad, right?
At League, we had a player show up
Brian,
who hadn't played in approximately 2 years, and he played one game against a normal quote-unquote squad, like had a real tight match, and he goes, I forgot how fun this game was. And then the next 2 rounds, he was paired up against identical Raptor attacks, and then we have not seen this player since.
Right. And right. The thing, all I can tell you is that's history repeating itself. Every game system goes through that.
Oh, I mean, yes.
They do.
But not necessarily so.
It's easier said than done to
Agreed.
undo it. And short of you actually dedicating full-blown resources like a major juggler or something like that, to prevent that in the first place, it's going to happen.
Well, this is where I get that Cassandra syndrome, because, like, now, at this point, Wave 7 is, like, it's ancient.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
we're talking, like, how many generations of players have we had since then?
Right.
We're looking at this final match. I used to get a lot of...
shields are piled. Okay, thanks, guys. I thought it was only 2 shields. I told them to leave them out, but I guess not. So.
We're making them listen to our conversation.
Right?
So I'm keeping up. I'll let them talk.
Do your job,
I got your back, chat.
T and I have more important things to do.
We're good.
I used to get so much grief for criticizing the design of twin laser turret. And this match, we've got nothing but twin laser turret.
Sure.
And increasingly so, people are starting to bring up the same concerns that I had when quote-unquote TLT was not a problem. Like, you could see that it was going, from a design perspective, that it was always headed towards becoming a problem.
As more stuff is released, if they don't test out every aspect of it, then some combination comes along.
Oh, guys, we
where it
lost
just becomes more
Jared.
of a
What are
problem
you guys
than
doing?
before. We lost what? Who did we lose?
Jared's gone.
What do you mean, Jared?
Jared Foss.
Jay, what happened? You sick of me?
Guys are killing my stream.
Oh, we've had enough of it. Gotcha. All right, look, if they've had enough, they've had enough.
Fine.
Solution to TLT is small ship only. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Well, to be fair, Gordon's not bitching. I am.
Yeah, but I'm instead of ignoring, what are you you're supposed to ignore? I'm inviting more. So I'll take the bullet. This one's on me. This is on me.
I know.
Travis.
I still have fun, guys.
I'm sorry. I still have fun.
There you go.
I still
Flag
have
gun votes.
fun.
You'll have
I still
fun.
have fun. Do I like the ghost list? I can't stand it. I hate it with the passion of 1,000 fiery suns, but I still enjoy the game. You know, because as I was telling you earlier, I had such a good time at the event, even though I went 3-3. I think there's just ebb and flows.
Right,
I don't
so
think there's something you can do
the
about
Ghost
this.
just lost 2 more shields.
Maybe on a micro level. Like if you look at the meta from tournament to tournament, it's going to be a problem. But I think it's always such an evolving thing that we're just looking at it on too small of a scale, maybe to look at it something larger.
That's a second TLT, so I need to see what damage we're doing.
Because
here.
it's going to be one of two things. Either
looks like he's shooting at Soul.
we correct the problem ourselves, which you're starting to see because not many Ghost Fens showed up at this event. Or if FFG,
actually, that's an interesting phenomenon
or
here in
FFG will force it for us, right? Because they're going to kill it if that's all people bring. They'll force some change. They eventually do because that's what they've done.
There were a total of 3 Raptor attacks in the field of almost 120 people. 2 in the hands of Minox. We see one of them here. Joe made top 8.
Sorry to interrupt, but would anyone be able to get like an update? I know you guys are having a fun time. I'm trying to keep up the update here. I don't want to make sure I don't lose everyone in our.
I'm also trying to stop bitching because clearly it's falling on deaf ears.
But can someone get me an update on the damage just to make sure I got everything good? I know Fenn's dead. I think the Ghost is down to 2 shields. I think. We got 1 hull left on Captain Nim, and then we got. I think.
Until this match.
Raptor Attack is the name of the Ghost Fen list, according to Minox Squadron.
Apologies,
not
everyone. I've been dying to have this
intuitive, I know.
conversation with D forever. So
It's a long, complicated story about why it's named Raptor Attack.
This one's on me.
Really.
Listen to their podcast.
His call sign's Raptor. He made the squad and wrecked with it, and everyone neck decked it. So.
It's long and complicated.
Whether or not you don't have to use the name or anything, but whether or not you call it that, Raptor attacked us. He broke the meta, Steve. I know he's in there. He's in there. He's my boy. He's my X-Wing bestie.
Let's see. Let me know on the chat if you guys are, if the stream is working okay, because I know that on our end it was a little bit laggy.
Is the laptop acting up again?
No, this is. I mean, I know, right?
I like Rooster's comment. I'd rather play against Ghost Fen than Final Form. Well, yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
But that's just arguing degrees in severity. We obviously like draw our lines in the sand in different places. So, on that note, how do you guys feel about Final Form? Was FFG correct in addressing it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like introducing one more attack phase in a system that wasn't meant to have that. Whereas at least now in the version of it, is people can't avoid it if they don't joust you and.
Well, it was like getting shot by the Epic Range 5 ruler.
Yeah.
So.
It was like taking a regular list and then introducing a free crit into it for a couple rounds, and it was just that didn't need to happen.
So where is the line? What is the line in the sand?
You need to be
what is that thin red line?
I do think something needs to be done about TLT. I don't know what, but I think that's a big. That you see that on a lot of like the top lists that everyone says are unfun or something. TLT, there's something.
Your point is 2.0, right? You're saying it's time for 2.0.
The game is bloated. It's creaking under the weight of systems attached to the skeleton that it was never the framework that was never meant to.
Right.
I mean, you're in technical biz. Like you've seen bad code.
Yeah.
That's all I see when I look at X-Wing now. Like it's a great game, the heart of a great game, amazing bones, and it's just collapsing under its own weight.
So it looks like it's a 4 dice primary at the back. That's Soul 6, I'm assuming. Let's see.
What are we looking at? You know that quote, that statement there about expertise Ray and expertise in general. I mean, the Ghost players have already moved on. We saw it independently in Poland and the Northwest, and both Minoc players today strapping R3
So it looks
ATU
like
onto
he's
Fen.
mauling. Oh no, he's playing target lock to roll 3. Looks like he probably has a focus, I'm assuming. Oh, no, he's on the blank, so he's probably gonna do that and then maul. There we go. Yeah, so maul. And then nope, it's just two hits. 1 evade. So it looks like 1 shields. Yeah, 1 shields. Oh no, Soul 6.
I actually really do appreciate all the comments about how to address the meta, but you know we always deal with it internally. We're trying to find squads that consistently beat Raptor attack. I thought Connor's squad was one of them, and he lost to Ron in the previous round.
The Dengar.
Yeah, Thweekar. Yeah. In testing, it held up extremely well against.
So credit to Ron for.
Yeah.
So, that was no damage, I believe, on that TLT shot at the end of the round. So we're back to dials.
And also the squad Farmer and let's see, Franklin Cuevas were running. The quick draw, your Inquisitor.
Right.
Yeah, and it has a couple of variants, but that is an amazing squad that also in testing should beat Ghost Fen, but didn't turn out that way today.
Did Dallas ever face any Ghost Fens?
I think we need to check to see if Soul lost his shield. Actually, Soul might have lost the next last shield.
How do you think that would have gone?
He had a really interesting quick draw build.
I know.
No engine on rack. That was bold.
I mean, it's meant to be basically an insanely expensive missile, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna harpoon, and then you're gonna please attack me,
So
and then
if I see this
close you out
correctly, I
with
believe
Raptor,
So
or
6
with,
did lose
Cherno.
the last shield, so it's at 5 hull now. The Lothal's still at 10, so no damage there. And yeah, so this is interesting. What do you think the Ghost does from here? Just kind of keep putting around and getting TLT shots?
Well, the squad's currently losing, so it does have to cut back in at some point to finish off a ship. And currently possesses the health necessary to do so, but I see some cluster mines there.
Yeah.
So if Ernesto can leverage the Nim's ability for extra evades, that's a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think Ernesto just kind of like dips out though at this point?
Well, then an engine boosting Ghost can also catch it at another corner.
You're the Ghost player. What would you do? Well, we're about to find out.
I mean, should he like?
I'm an Imperial player at heart.
Because if he just sets up another wall of bombs, you know.
And then, so let the Ghost run.
Yeah, let the Ghost engage him.
And then
so the Ghost has to curl around and engage inside that wall at some point.
And
it has enough health at the moment to do so.
Because I mean, with that large base ship, you know, the Ghost is going to be hitting at least 2 bombs if he comes in from an angle. So.
Oh no, that is not a viable choice to cross those cluster mines at this point.
Yeah.
From a competitive standpoint, just one last time, like there are any number of choices, sure. I just hate to see match. I'm done bitching. No one wants to hear it.
I think what everyone wants to know is where did Ron get those templates? Because those are sexy. Look at that mirrored purple.
Oh,
those are nice.
They might be Greenman templates that I have been waiting In excess of 3. I'm not with you. I'm in excess of 3 years for.
I've got my mirrored green man templates. You
No!
don't? There's a Kraken skulls, something like that. Makes a set of nice templates like that, and they look kind of like that. They make some nice mirrored ones.
Thank you, Catherine, for agreeing with me. Those are really nice templates.
Are you trying to change the conversation,
I am.
Steve? I don't understand.
I know. I'm taking control of this.
Why would you want to take control of your own stream?
I know, right?
I don't get it.
Yeah. So definitely not going to run for 2 hours. That's ridiculous. But definitely you can set up unfavorable engagement for the ghost to come back around. With that bomb wall, because if he stays around a rock plus he has the bombs, he's going to be getting the debris gambit plus the extra evade for the bombs, so he should be able to take a few shots from whatever the ghost has to do, but it just depends on how fast he can set up those bombs.
Hey, how clever is Ernesto with debris gambit for the squad? Because
I know.
He was running a version of the squad as far back as Fresno Regional and made cut there.
Wow.
Didn't make any noise, but I mean, I definitely kept the squad list.
No.
And made a couple adjustments with the new content, and here he is at the final table with people who have no idea how to deal with his squad at all.
No, it's scary because like he just can spin around rocks, get the debris gambit, and meanwhile just shutting off any approach he has to shoot at your ships. Because you want to engage me, or you can go through all my cluster mines.
So you can safely barrel roll here, probably still out of arc, right? That's beyond range 3. And then now can start building a wall of clusters.
Yeah, there we go.
Stealing agency right back. Burglaring it.
And that sets up a really, really nice wall of defense for himself.
Has anyone discussed, just for the general listener, about Nim's ability and why this is such a good tactic?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Nim allows friendly ships to ignore bombs, correct? Or just Nim?
That's the first ability.
And when you're shooting at a ship and a template overlaps a bomb token, you actually get an evade.
Free evade result.
Yeah, just free evade result. Here you go. You don't have to roll an extra dice. So, and that with the debris gambit, you're getting 2 evades?
If you can, but you have to choose it as an action, but then you can get up to 2.
So, two evades, and then a die that you're rolling, that you get another 38% chance of getting
you only need a 1 die evade ship, you know.
And even though you can only use 1 evade token per attack, since the ghost is shooting you like 4 times, there you go.
Right.
You're fine.
So it's somewhat of an answer to the ghost in that sense, if you can set up your defenses.
I think Ernesto starts setting up his wall right here.
Yeah.
Yep, staying out of range.
Travis is killing me.
Yeah.
You're baiting me. You know, I'll just say I contributed a dub to the stream. So if anyone wants to hate on me, like I'm partially brought to you by my pockets.
I am being D's adult here. That's on me.
That's fair.
This is my fault. This is on me. I'm the worst for a reason.
Oh, that's every round for Ernesto. So through 6 rounds of Swiss and all
I just think
cut.
it makes a fascinating puzzle to solve. I like it.
So what do you say? Another bomb, maybe? I think so.
I mean, he has plenty. Why not?
Here we go. Whee!
Yeah, we all saw that coming.
Yep.
So it's just a matter if the ghost here is going to be able to push through 1 damage on 4 shots on Sol Sixa.
Yeah.
And that changes the complexion
You're
of the
thinking
game.
he wants to primary as opposed to double TLT here, right? He had to turn around so he can get a forward arc into this stuff and maybe hope one of them goes through?
I mean, that's going to be a range 3 shot, right?
But you're going to primary and then follow up with the TLT? Maybe that can be enough to get Nim at the end there?
I'd stick with the 4 TLT shots. You only need 1 to land.
Okay.
But you think Nim probably barrel rolls out of this?
Say that again?
You think Nim will probably just barrel roll out of this? Or?
Well, the target is...
Oh, no,
Nim's the hurt
debris
one. You're
gambit.
right.
He's going to debris
Right,
gambit.
absolutely. Oh, that does change things. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. So that's fine.
Travis, just take over for me.
No, okay. So yeah, no, I wouldn't say that this is X-wing, but hey, this is the tools that we have. It's a valid list that people can bring, but there's definitely you can see the skill that both players are having to put in this. Ernesto is definitely doing an excellent job on just maintaining ranges and protecting his ships with those bomb walls.
He's about to type something to you.
Sure.
So looks like we got one hit onto the ghost, so let's do that.
Wait, how many cards are out there? 3?
Oh, 3. Wow, so that's 3 of them. Never mind.
I don't know if you heard all of my rant, but I mean, both these squads are exploiting creases in the game, and that's all I'm going to say at this point. No, I thought I made it clear that I'm not happy with either of these builds are possible.
You recording tomorrow night?
We are.
Then dive into it. Have at it.
But I also wanted to give credit to Ernesto for doing it, for making it happen. Like
Didn't we see?
Anyone could have put 6 on the board, but
didn't we see a version of this with Nathan Idy? He ran 6 in what?
Did he?
Oh yeah, Nathan back at was it the Indy Regional? I think it was the Indy Regional.
No.
Yeah, Nathan Idy had a 6 shenanigan wall out. I forget what his partnership was.
He didn't run Fencorn at Indy?
I thought he ran
We were maybe it was the Crossroads Classic. How long has it been out? Was it last September, October?
For which
the Skirks, have they been out, right? That
long?
It may have been Crossroads Classics where Nathan brought a
oh, all right. So Nim is dead.
A wall of
So goodbye, Nim.
Bye.
And the trajectory of the game has now completely shifted back over. The Ghost should how many points is Sixa worth?
53.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's a really fat Sixa.
Alright, so Ron's resetting.
Yeah.
Seems like the right choice.
Yeah. Crossroads last year, Nim and Sixa.
Cool.
I mean, honestly, he can probably...
I didn't keep track of Crossroads.
So this is interesting because you can just run away with the ghost.
Yeah, that's where I'm with you.
He did turn left, right? Sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, just I missed the dogfighting. It's a different game, and
because at this point he really Ron has no reason to engage.
Right, he's got the point tank with the
He did what he needed to do.
He's
now
fine.
You come to me and you don't get to use your wall.
So okay, this kind of stuff, yeah.
55, 54, 20,
I can see
plus
why people will get upset about it.
28, 38.
But here's the thing where
No, isn't Ron behind? I'm sorry,
Oh, he's half points. Yeah.
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 So he's got to come back
so
around.
he has to.
Okay.
And out TLT Sixa, who no longer gets the benefit of the bomb bonus.
And even if he was ahead and Sixa wants to get after him and threaten him, this is where the longer match works against him because you can't run that long.
Well, I mean, he could probably just Talon roll back into the side of his bombs, right?
Well, okay, but yeah, because he's ahead, why would he want to leave the safety of his wall? Sure.
Well, the wall provides no safety anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh, because Nim's... Yeah. Oh, that's right. It carries over the both. Sorry.
But I mean,
where's Ron going?
But he can kind of stay there and stay with the rocks, get the debris gambit, and then so that way it makes it unsafe for the ghost just to kind of barrel in and start shooting, I guess.
Well, the ghost can just cruise along any parallel line.
Oh, he's going that way.
Hey Steve, so hey Raptor Nest number 1. How do you feel about Raptor Attack?
I'm trying to disassociate myself. Even though I started this, I'm now trying to. We've done so well to distract him, and now he's back to it again.
Oh, I mean, because Steve loves playing it. And it was absolutely the correct choice,
right?
At that event.
To me, this exact same topic was the same when Nim first came out, and you had the. What did they have to nerf on Nim originally?
Originally?
What was the first nerf they did? What was the first Nim build that came out? Everybody was nuts with
really
advanced
didn't nerf
sensor.
anything.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, Genius itself.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
everyone
for
was
the
all
scum
over
Nim,
that,
yeah.
and that was like the definition of combo wing, right? And people loved it. It's like might as well be a card game because it's all about the combos and the effects. And the same argument was made then. It's like I missed the flying, not the
that's
combos.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
The problem.
Well, I do know that was what was being said at the time.
No, because I think that there's problems like that before that.
Oh, Genius was bad.
Genius
when you
was-
can just intentionally bump into a target, guarantee damage, and ignore it yourself, that was not
That was
but I
pretty
think,
obnoxious.
but I think
palatable.
for years now, there's always been stuff in the game that's
I agree.
just been
I agree.
kind of dumb. I mean, unhittable Soon tier with Power Bar and thing back in the day.
I think it
like
comes
that.
down to whatever the current thing is that. I mean, it's going to be different for different people, but whatever the current thing is, it's annoying you. At some point, it gets fixed. It's just that can you be patient enough for it to get fixed, and what do you do in the meantime?
But I think my thing is I don't mind if something is really, really good, but I like there to be a high skill to it, to where you really have to be exact in your execution, or you die.
Yeah.
So like the bumping Nim with the Genius, that was dumb because you don't really care where you are. You know where everyone's gonna be. Just run into them and explode.
So now we're talking about burden of execution.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. In this match, both these squads excel at shifting that burden to opposing squads.
Right.
And they did that all tournament long, and here they are.
And I find that fascinating. I think that's cool.
So no shots for a while. I know, it's so exciting to watch. Couple rounds of just nothing. We have a pretty bomb wall to look at, so there's that. I definitely think when FFG made the Ghost, though, I didn't think that they foresaw a lot of the problems that it was going to cause. Just the upgrade slots, and
I know for a fact they don't have the wherewithal to see all of the ramifications.
I think for me, where it gets egregious are individual components that clearly will break the function of the game, and that was Twin Laser Turret way back in Wave 7.
No, yeah, Twin Laser Turret has always been a problem.
Well, not to hear other people yell at me about or. Hey,
I mean, it came with the K-Wing, right? So,
yes.
Yeah, Miranda. Yeah. And how long has Miranda been a good ship?
Oh, the best ship.
Yeah.
But it's not because she has TLT. It's because it's her ability with TLT.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, let's say she could only attack once and regen, she wouldn't be as formidable as, like, to be able to throw in the one damage, then get the shield regen, and then maybe also get a hit on the second attack.
So it looks like 2 focus and a blank, which is not ideal. Because
so
Sol 6 is not going to have anything for defense, which, I mean, only rolling the 1 die, but
so,
still.
okay, so damage, right?
Yeah, so
5.
2 more.
Right. But now he's got to burn his focus. Primary back.
Yeah.
Admitting a problem. It's self-awareness, dude. But it's only half the issue. Hi.
Are you guys still streaming?
We are.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know. Any final thoughts on just where you think the game is going? Like really short final thoughts, and what would you like to see, and just like how this tournament went in general. I'm more interested in
variety was pretty good.
Because you were a judge, so I mean,
didn't you see a lot of variety?
Absolutely.
Okay, I thought that was great.
in and of itself, that's not. I mean, there's like bingo has the most variance, like the most variety of squads.
It is a contextual statement, D,
Right.
but I'm not making the statement in a vacuum.
But yeah, they're great variety. A lot of really cool squads out there. But they didn't really make cut, did they?
Well, what did make cut? I mean, we had, I think, a better representation of scum than before up to this point, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of scum.
I mean, you're doing it wrong if you're not bringing Asajj, but in general.
Well,
But God, we saw the Tweak Dengar. I mean, what?
So that Connor squad was designed to take down the Raptor attack, and
Right.
they failed to do so in this instance.
But what happened in that game? Was there any kind of bad luck, variance? Was there a
some-
mistake?
Ron played well.
And
so-
Ron, right? So, it's one thing to have the tool to do it. It's another to be able to correctly use the tool or to get the opportunity to do it. You know, there are two people in the match.
So then, like, real quick thoughts. It's interesting that so few people brought the Ghost. The top players who did all made cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Yor is an incredible. So there's this increasing war between. So Fenrau especially caused this war to find passive mods,
Yes.
and so expertise is the go-to. But you know, you just strap the stress bot onto Fen, and suddenly those options are so. And then now, as a like meta counter, there's a lot of Yor happening.
Right. This is a slight tweak from what was up before, right?
it's a
because it's
response.
the response to the increase in expertise. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those battles are interesting to me. Absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of people making assertions. I feel like you need to keep up all the way before like. I'm sorry. Some of the commentators were a little bit behind the SoCal meta.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get the interview with the winner.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go on a quick break, and yeah, so we'll have an interview with Ron. So thanks guys for tuning in. See you in a bit.
All right.